Welcome, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. Had to do something tomorrow before I get deep into homework. Probably be doing it tomorrow, but today we talking about the Super Bowl. Who you picking for the Super Bowl? I'm not the biggest. I'm not a Chiefs fan or a San Francisco fan. I have no dog in the fight, but I just like competition, sports, and strategy. So I come to ask who you picking for the Super Bowl. Because we all know that Patrick Mahomes, he a different kind of dude. He's not just going to lay down and let you beat him in the Super Bowl. So let me know who you got for the Super Bowl. A lot of times, I think in order, I can't bet against Mahomes. It's not going to happen. He's just too consistent. He's shown us too much over time. He's been too consistent, even how he beat the Ravens. He didn't even really have a spectacular game. So that lets me know that he don't care about the spectacular game. He just want to get the win. In order for San Francisco to beat Mahomes, um, they would have to have a defensive game like the Broncos had against Cam Newton when they played the Panthers in the Super Bowl when they had Peyton Manning. They D line would have to have that kind of game, put that kind of pressure on Mahomes the whole game. Because if you don't, you give him 3 seconds, he gonna beat you. You're not gonna get a coverage sack with him. You have to actually sack Mahomes. So if San Francisco can get the pressure consistently throughout the game, they'll have a chance. So shout out to San Francisco. The Chiefs to win their game, they're gonna have to put up points and they're gonna have to put them down. They're gonna have to make Purdy so discouraged that he can be like, man, I can't score, 40 or, 30 or 40 points, something like that. It have to be something crazy where they can't come back. You're going to have to put the nail in the coffin. Like, there's not going to be a shootout. But even if they got in a shootout, Mahomes probably still would edge out Purdy just because Mahomes is, like I said, he been in the game. He got more skin in the game. He been in the game a little bit longer. So I think that like I said, I can't bet against Mahomes, but if the 49ers were to win, they would have to, their defensive line would have to, and Fred Warner, the heat seeking missile back there, he's going to have the game of his life um, in order to really put the nail in the coffin for the Chiefs. And the Chiefs, um, I don't know if they defense, I don't know, I guess the jury's still out. I don't know if they defense. They play. They got the bend but don't break kind of defense. But if San Francisco get rolling, ain't nothing you can do. C Mac back there. If he get off, they in Vegas too, so the weather good. They in the dome or whatever. So if C Mac, Debo, their team start getting off on offense, it could be a shootout between those two teams. And even when that goes, I think, like I say, Mahomes got the better gun, the better arm than Purdy. I like Purdy though, man. To come from Mr. Irrelevant to where he is now, that's not easy to do. You have to be given an opportunity. A lot of guys that's Mr. Irrelevant don't get that opportunity. And you usually just see those guys just kind of, stay on the team or practice squad. But yeah, man, he held it down, man. Shout out to Brock Purdy, man. So another thing, I was watching the NBA. Pat Bev traded to the Bucks. Let me know what you think about that trade. Pat Bev traded to the Bucks. Is this a good trade, bad trade, or really kind of just even Steven? At one point, him and Dame was beefing, but maybe that's because they was on opposite teams. Oh, oh, what say you picking the Chiefs? Yeah, I know you would pick the Chiefs. He said if San Francisco comes out like they did when they played Detroit, it's going to be a blowout. I don't know about that, bro. You can't. It's hard to beat Mahomes, man. I'm gonna send you the link too, man, just in case, man, if you're able to join in. But it's gonna be hard for him to beat Mahomes, man. He got to have the game of his life. Brock Purdy got to have the game of his life. You can't get behind with Mahomes. If you get behind at any point, you're done. You might as well forget about it. He's not gonna let you come back. You know, the Lions were young. That's a young team, so they didn't really have enough awareness to really close out that game. But the Chiefs do. You know, coaching Andy Reid. You know, he's not gonna. If he let the game get out of control, they probably gonna lose that game. But I doubt it, just off a track record. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. I mean, it would be cool for Brock Purdy to win one. He'll probably be the first Mr. Relevant to win a Super Bowl. That'll be a crazy storyline. You know, go from the last pick of the draft to win the Super Bowl. But like I said, he got to get past Mahomes. So if he can get past Mahomes, you know, he can pull it off. He probably could pull it off. But back to the Bucks, right? Is he like a low budget? Um, what's my guy name to play for the Celtics? I just thought about him. Drew, my boy Drew. Is he a low budget? Drew. Drew Holiday. That's what it is. Is he a low budget Drew Holiday? Pat Mahomes. Because they was missing defense, and Drew played point guard too, and he anchored their defense. He did a lot of little tangible things that you can't really teach. And will that make the difference? Because he don't want the ball, so you don't have to worry about him shooting the ball, but he will play defense and do the little tactical stuff that, you know, get into the other team head. So I think it may be. I think chemistry probably gonna take a little bit of time. Still trying to get used to Doc Williams, stuff like that. But let me know in the comments what you think about that. Of the Knicks, New York Knicks trade. They got who they getting that trade? Let me give me 1 second. Who they getting that trade? They got the dude from Detroit, Bogdanovich, and Alec Burks and OG Anobi. They're saying that the Knicks they won the trade battles and stuff, but I don't know. The jury's still out. Um, I mean, you got to think those guys came off Detroit. You know, had one of the worst losing records in the NBA. So, will the Knicks be improved by these trades? Let me know in the comments what you think. Do I think that?
Blade. Ready to die.
I don't think so. I don't think that the Knicks they may go to the second round of the playoffs, maybe, but they not no championship team though. That's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? But not gonna happen. So let me know in the comments what you think about. I think I just seen this across the rumor mill that Dinwiddie plans to sign with the Lakers. I don't know if that they said he's to sign with the Lakers. A $1.5 million deal for the rest of the season. I don't know, man. Dinwiddie, he good, but he not that good. Like he just moved the needle like that. But you know, man, shout out to the LeBron, man. Seemed like he supposed to decline, but he not. Like he went to Wakanda and got their vibranium, so he's still balling on a high level. Maybe Dinwiddie gives them the offense that they need. You know, that third person. I don't know what happened to D'Angelo Williams. I don't know why he plays like he does, so up and down. You were seeing like the way he played when he played with the Warriors and the Timberwolves and stuff. this would be like the prime time of the season for him to just take over. But for some reason, he don't. I don't know. Maybe it's a disconnect between him, LeBron, and Anthony Davis. I'm not sure. But for some reason, he not taking over. I'm not sure why, but who knows? Let me know if you know in the comments if you know why. We got Honest John coming in here. Honest John, what's up, man?
What's up? What's up?
I'll put our names on the screen. Hold on, let me see. Put our names back on the screen. Honest John. So you
Man,
think the Chiefs? You think the Chiefs gonna win, man? Or you think the
yeah,
Chiefs?
they've been playing more consistent the whole season,
Yeah,
and they're staying true to themselves,
yeah,
even in the playoffs.
yeah.
They're playing better and more efficient in the playoffs. And like you said, the defense don't look like nothing special, but they get it done. The whole season they've been getting it done.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to speak against that.
Well, I think to beat Mahomes, they're gonna have to have that game like Von Miller and D Ware had against Cam Newton. They're gonna have to
Yeah.
have a game like that.
And another thing about that game, they had luck and skill on their side. A lot of plays just didn't go Cam's way. He made some
Because of the pressure. They
yeah,
was
no, no.
lucky.
And he made some risky. He tried to make some risky plays, high risk, and they backfired. Every
Yeah.
chance he took backfired on him in that game.
Yeah. You make them slot machine plays. Sometimes they hit big, sometimes they don't. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you crap out.
Yeah, you
And
pull that
another thing
level,
I
you
was
lit.
saying,
Once you once you pull that level,
your money gone.
man.
XXX is what you're gonna see.
It's hard to
Nothing
beat
like
Mahomes though, man. It's gonna be hard to beat. I mean, you gotta beat him. You really gotta beat him. You know what I'm saying? In order for
you
him
got
to
to put
do it.
them out, and they're so
Yeah,
efficient. Like Super
he
Bowl,
is.
they make the drive every drive like it's so calculated. Now, only reason, my main reason for going against San Francisco this year because they played so good, so consistent. Their defense was lights out. Christian McCaffrey did good. Debo was doing this thing, but they got to the Lions, and the Lions just basically blew them out the whole first quarter. I mean, the first half. It was
Yeah.
like 28-0. And where was that defense then?
Hmm.
Where was that offense then? They put up 0 points in a half of football in the playoffs. They almost got six home. They had to have Jesus in the backfield to kind of come back.
Hmm.
That was a miracle. They can't do that against Patrick Mahomes. They don't make
No.
mistakes like that. They
Mm-mm.
kill these opponents. They will.
Hmm.
And if y'all can't stop Detroit's offense in the first half, what you think Mahomes
The
gonna do?
Chiefs gonna do right because Travis
So
Kelsey, man, he out there killing it. Like I don't know if Fred Warner gonna have to hold him or a safety over the top. I don't know. Somebody gonna have to shut him down, man. If you can't shut
that's
Kelsey
too.
down, it's hard to shut him down because they don't run play. They run wherever you get him the open spot. That's where he gonna throw it to. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
like every time he go out there, he running the option route.
Yep,
He don't
exactly.
even. You can't stop him because he don't even know what he gonna do. You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
Exactly.
Another thing like with it, and they know he's gonna throw it to Kelsey. They
Yeah.
know he's going to get the ball, and
Yeah.
they can't stop him. They hadn't been able to stop him since basically Mahomes got in the league.
Yeah.
And he's talking about Fred Warner. They defensive standout, but they had that linebacker Smith, Agent Zero, for Baltimore, who's
Hmm.
a better linebacker overall than Fred Warner, I think.
Yeah.
And he was a non-factor in that game against the
Something
Chiefs
happened
and the
with the
Ravens.
Ravens game. I don't know what a disconnect was. It just didn't seem like they weren't connected. I don't know. It seemed like a disconnect happened. It also
Yeah,
seemed like that Lamar Jackson. I don't know if he wanted to prove that he was a pocket passer. I would have went to Michael Vick mode if I was him. That's just me. I would have went to Michael Vick mode. I told the coach, look, I threw them the ball. They don't want to catch it. You finna see the Action Jackson show. It is what it is. You know.
because I'm gonna play every down like it's my last.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I get 3 seconds,
What
two
was that? Michael
seconds.
Vick
No,
versus the Packers? Was it Michael Vick versus when he played the Packers that time?
Boy,
I
and
would
that
have turned
playoff,
to that
boy,
game right there.
he killed, man. They
Are
couldn't
you
do
kidding
nothing
me?
for him.
This is the Michael Vick experience. Dude
That
would
would
have
have
run
like
the man.
2 seconds.
Yeah,
Um, I would have been whatever the coach, whatever play the coach called.
yeah,
I would have did that.
yeah.
The
I
third
called the play.
second, Mike, third, second, 1, 2, 3. After
Yeah,
three is all me. You know what I
cause
mean?
he
I'm gonna make the
running.
play.
What you think he running now? About a 4-4 in the pass now. He probably run like a 4-4, high 4-4, like 4-4-5, something like that in the pads. When he be running, if he
Yeah,
take off.
and I imagine it looks a lot quicker in game of those guys, those defensive guys looking at him, and
Oh
he's a
yeah,
lot bigger than
man.
what you think he is when he's running towards you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and you gonna get them no, he ain't gonna get them calls like the late hit roughing the passers if you try to blow them up because mobile quarterbacks don't get those hits. I
He only
mean,
get
don't get
those if you
those
block it.
calls.
Yeah, he only get those. But see, Patrick Mahomes, he'll run the ball too. Like, see, that's what I like about Mahomes. His awareness probably is 99 right now.
He got a spider sense. I mean, like
I
he gonna
mean, if you try
escape
to if you try to
trouble
do the
and
coverage
he gonna
sack, he'll
slang
run the
that
ball.
thing.
Yeah, he's not gonna take no coverage
Hmm
sack. He'll run the ball. And if you give him 3 seconds, he gonna beat you. He gonna get the ball to somebody. Whether they catch it or not, that's up to them. But he gonna get the ball out though. You know what I'm saying?
But if you right up on him, he can like throw it side on
Yeah,
for
exactly.
40, 50 yards. You know what I mean?
Then
You
the
think he
Super
go
Bowl,
he
you just get more juice. Something about the Super Bowl. You get that juice. You get more juice in you, man. You know what I'm saying? But if
and
Brock Purdy, go ahead. Go
that's
ahead. Go ahead.
true. But he never seems to get like out of character. Even when he
No.
messed up his leg last year,
No.
he didn't get spastic. He didn't start cussing people out on the sideline.
No.
You know what I mean? He always keeps his composure.
Yeah.
Um, and that's scary. You know what I mean? You press him,
Yeah.
he don't get frustrated. He just going, hi, what's up? He just do his thing. What's up, guys? Kelsey run up, hits or something like that, and he'll throw it.
So what do you think if Brock Purdy was to win the Super Bowl, man? That'd be crazy. That'd be like a crazy storyline to go from Mr. Irrelevant to win the Super Bowl, man. That'd be crazy, man.
I mean, we've seen it before with
When?
Mr. Brady.
He wasn't Mr. Irrelevant though.
Was he a
No.
7th round pick? He got picked in a round that doesn't even exist anymore.
But Purdy was the last pick in the draft.
In
Mr.
today's
Irrelevant.
draft, no,
Mr.
in
Irrelevant.
today's draft,
Mr.
Tom Brady wouldn't
Irrelevant.
even. Tom Brady would have been undrafted. You know
But
what
the
I mean?
question
But
is, would he, if he would have never got in, would he even know who he is, though? That's the thing. The coach still got to put you in.
exactly. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he did something. You know what I mean? But that would be a storyline, a Cinderella storyline,
Boy.
if Purdy did it.
Yeah.
But game managers win Super Bowls too.
But they always have a good defense, though. They defense step up.
And they don't.
Who?
We
Going to see.
San
We going to
Francisco
see. I mean,
has
they
a
got a
good
good
defense.
We going to see. You know what I'm saying? If they defense have a lights-out game, San Francisco winning that game, hands down. They got to have a lights-out game, though. Kind of like when the Ravens and the Buccaneers running that cover two, lights out game. It was nothing that the Raiders could do. Even though,
Yeah,
Gruden probably cheated, told them every play they was running.
man. It's like going to war. You know what I mean? And then you
Man.
see your wife in the other camps.
Oh man.
And then I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, like what's she doing? She's not telling my
So
secrets,
was
is she?
Rich Gannon, was he a game manager? Rich Gannon? Was he a game manager?
No, no, that's not what
You
you
don't
would
think
call a
so?
game manager. With the weapons he had, I mean, they was the number one offense in the league that year.
Yeah, they was. That's true. I just want to mess with you about Rich Gannon. Yeah, Brad Johnson. You see Warren Sapp when he was talking to Cam Newton about game managers, he told him Brad Johnson was a game manager. Warren Sapp, hey, don't you talk about my quarterback like that, boy. I beat you. He about to Now Cam a big dude, but Warren Sapp a even bigger dude. I don't think people realize that.
Oh,
Warren
of
Sapp is
course.
even bigger.
You know what I mean? And Warren Sapp is mean and nasty. I mean,
Yeah,
he's just
yeah.
that kind of guy.
Even at
Um,
what 50, late 40s and 50, still
yeah, and that's just
you better
some
don't let
people
him
got
put his
that
hands
extra
on you.
thing.
Yeah, don't let him
Exactly.
grab
Some
you,
people
man.
got that. He could probably fight an MMA guy with the technique of Brazilian jiu-jitsu he gonna find a way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He'll snatch your eye out your head. You know what I mean? So, but the people, I think that comment was kind of emotional or personal. He called Cam a game manager or a glorified running back. You know what I
Yeah, they
mean?
talked about that. He talked
Um,
about that. They kind of squashed it. They had he had like a little quick podcast he did with 4th and 1, and Warren Sapp was on there. And
yeah,
he was saying he didn't look at the whole clip in context. They just kind of clipped it up when he was talking
yeah,
about game management. And, that's how the media do. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful about that. But yeah, I think
yeah.
if
So,
Cam man would have had a better team, I just think the Panthers. I don't know. It's some football teams who don't really value getting a complete team. No, no, in my opinion, just looking at how stuff be going. Like San Francisco always had a system of getting like a good overall team. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Defense and offense. Like the Panthers, it's like they just had Cam Newton. They had a couple of players. They had, older players from defense generation like Julius Peppers and them, but they never really just had a complete
Try
upgraded
to build.
team.
Yeah,
You know
they
what I'm saying?
always, get like a star on one level of the defense. You got a defensive lineman,
Yeah,
maybe a safety or something like that. They
yeah,
had Greg Olson, you know what I mean, for a lot, but then didn't have a lot of other offensive player. They had even when they had Steve Smith, D'Angelo Williams, and they just getting those star players and not
what
trying to build a system around anything or having an
what is the
offensive
most
identity.
important, in your opinion? What's the most important unit on a team that you got to start with if you want to win? Consistently.
Probably offensive line.
Yeah, yeah. Both the
You know
trenches.
what I mean?
Period. Offensive line, defense. Like I say, the Broncos won because they D line. They had DeMarcus Ware on one side and Von Miller on the other side. You know what I'm saying? If that's the GM, that was a smart move. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like Julius
Because when you
Peppers, he never really had no help on the D line. It was just him. So you can double, you can scheme against that. You know what I'm saying? Javon
yeah.
Curse, he never really had that other D end. You know what I'm saying? It was just him. So you can scheme against that. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, you got that O line though. If you ain't got no O line though, man, like I don't know how the Chiefs are winning with the O line they have, but they are. But they be plugging guys in probably by committee and stuff. Maybe is it the O line scheme or coach that kind of stretch your O line out too? They know
Yeah, I
how
mean the
to
scheme. Yeah,
implement different schemes.
yeah. Our offensive linemen are smarter than people give them credit
Oh, you gotta be, yeah, for
for.
sure.
And if you can really work those guys in a good rotation, you have good stars, good
Yeah,
leadership. You can do a lot because when you think about it, somebody third string back was an all SEC running back when they was in college.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
That's
Top
true.
five running back in the country coming out of high school.
Yeah,
Everybody's somebody. You know what I
that's true.
mean? If you give them that line again,
Yeah,
they can re reinstall their confidence. You know what I mean? And then now you got a running game.
boy,
They,
for real.
you know what I mean? Like even if you had a good running game, like before Adrian Peterson retired, he was just floating around the NFL.
Yeah,
You put him a good running behind a good offensive line. You know what I mean? He might get you 1,000 yards. You know what I
boy.
mean? So you can get these washed up players, even though they seem washed up to you. They won Heisman when they was in college. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So when you start the line, you can start putting maybe mediocre pieces in place. You
yeah.
can get a game manager, and you know what I mean, or get a mobile quarterback, and then you can start building from there. Start building the receiving core and things like that. Um, but that's the I think is most important part. You know what I mean? But the real me, I say get you some receivers,
Boy,
get a
yeah.
quarterback with a strong arm. That's what the real me want to say. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
trade the house for
yeah.
Randy Moss and
Hey,
a quarterback with a strong arm, and then
hey.
we'll build the rest from there. We'll get that rest in free agency or the draft. You know
I
what I
think
mean?
that's
We can
what
get
Bill
some
Belichick
rookie.
did. I think he said if I might sacrifice a little bit on the offensive line, but we got Randy Moss. He only need like 2 seconds to get deep, and he deep.
Yep.
But it cost him in the Super Bowl. That D line, that Giants D line, man.
So, but okay. So, would you think something is success? Success if it worked was 17, 20, it's like it worked 20 times and 21 times it didn't work. That one time it didn't work. Um,
But is your
I would
success
go.
is your success predicated off the Super Bowl or is it predicated off the percentages? It's all about what makes you feel better.
Hey, guess what? He was right. 20 out of 21 times.
Right.
Uh, and it went his way. But when it counted the most, it didn't. So I mean, he had a
Just
good
like
game
with the
plan, but
Bulls, right? Going
that's
70, 72 and 10. Awesome record, but they topped it off with the championship. And now it's cemented.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Forever. So
Because if they would have won a Super Bowl, been undefeated the whole season, boy, would have been the greatest team, period. That
ever,
one little
like
thing. That one little thing, man. Man. One
you
little
dip
thing.
they gold, you dip their jerseys in gold. Everybody going to the Hall of Fame.
Boy. For real. For real.
So, but
But
that's just one of those things. But we ain't got to worry. About, like, man, I don't think Sometimes when you look at the NFL, it's like the teams aren't like the teams they used to be. Like
no, they
those
not.
dynasties coming up. I
Yeah.
think it's up for grabs. I mean, and
Yeah, salary cap
for
and stuff like that. Yeah, that kind of make it kind of hard.
so I think that's why if these teams ain't gonna pick an identity, the Chiefs is gonna keep collecting Super Bowls until you get a superpower to unite
Or you got to
to
have a
beat them.
consistent quarterback. You got to have a consistent quarterback, and everything
And you
else
got to
fall into
start
place.
building. Like,
Yeah,
okay, exactly. So with the Ravens, they have to start like build like we're gonna get this and this. They gotta make moves. Stop putting mediocre pieces in place and hoping
yeah,
for the best.
man. They should
Why
have
does
got
it
Derrick
take
Henry. I would have got Derrick Henry.
exactly?
Man, I would
So
have got
why
him.
does it take you
Man,
2 years to sign your franchise quarterback? Lock that guy in.
boy.
There's nobody better. Oh
See,
well,
if you
maybe we can get.
didn't they understand if you get them paid early before the inflation kick in, you get a deal before inflation kick in. You know what I'm saying? But
The
you
price
hard
goes
headed.
up every year, and they
You
had to
hard headed.
learn the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know what I mean? If they would have solidified their man future 2 years ago, he would have been in a better position this year to win a Super Bowl, and they could have been working on their next piece. You
Boy,
know what I mean? To get, you know what I mean? Now their defense is coming alive, everything looking better for them.
yeah.
This could have been the year, you know what I mean? But now they got to start like kind of back from scratch. Keep Lamar healthy
So I
and
gotta ask you this.
add the little pieces that they need.
Well, I'm gonna ask you this: what you think about Bieniemy, Eric Bieniemy, after the whole thing went down with the Commanders, man, with hiring in what's the name for USC because he know Caleb Williams, and they let go of Eric Bieniemy after they fired the other coach, head coach. You think he should have stayed in KC, or you think he should have he still made the right move going to the Commanders?
You got to the Commanders organization. You got to look at them. You know what I mean. You got to look at
Yeah,
their history, like who you're dating. You know what I mean. What ship you joining,
yeah,
and they're gonna always get. They may do a diversity hire and they may look good for this year, but you get only one strike, and you know
yeah.
what I mean.
When you know that what's the name was for to sell the team, he was in process of selling the team. You should have known right then. Zach Snyder or Snyder selling the team. You
Mhm.
should have known right then it probably ain't gonna work because me and you both know just off turnover how it go in the corporate world. When a new manager come in, a new owner come in, they always bring their people with them. They gonna hire their
Exactly.
whole
So
people. Yeah, you're not gonna last, man. You know what I'm saying?
sometimes that is the stupidest thing. Sometimes
It just
I
won't
think the
work.
Commanders. I think the Commanders was in a good place with a coordinator, a Super Bowl winning coordinator, almost the direct coach of a potential MVP, and Patrick Mahomes, a Super Bowl champion 2 times or 3 time champion or whatever he was.
Yeah,
But then, hey, because I want my guy in there, I'm gonna basically let go of offensive genius because I want my guy.
yeah, do it no
Like,
problem.
why does that make sense?
It's not what you
Um,
know. It's not what you know. It's who you know, right?
That man was your friend?
My friend, huh?
Yeah.
Tell me why. Because he
so
knows
tell
my first
me,
name?
just because you know a guy who knows the player, they went to college together or whatever the relationship is. How does that make him better than somebody? I'm looking at Bieniemy's resume versus the other guy. How does this other guy? How's he better?
That's
Because I
why.
know him.
That's
I
why.
know him. That's what makes him better.
That's why people be talking about like DEI. This is the perfect example of diversity, equity, and inclusion. When you take that away, this is what happens. People bring in people that they familiar with, not the best candidate. They just bring in who they familiar with. That's what he did. I'm not really
I'm
familiar with
looking.
Eric Bieniemy. You know what I'm saying? I wish him great, the best of his future endeavors, the best of luck. But I'm more familiar with with Klein. It ain't funny, but it happens all the time for regular people, man. It happens all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? Even to
Well, how
it happen
many?
to white dudes. I've seen it happen to white dudes too.
Yeah,
They
no, no.
don't
I
like
mean,
him.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? They don't like him because of whatever reason. He's not aesthetic or, he just not buddy buddy, you know what I'm saying, with the director. So he gonna bring in, his people and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
he doesn't fit the our team identity.
Yeah.
Winning is your identity.
Yeah.
Anything other than that, developing the players is irrelevant.
Yeah.
But you can go somewhere. Um, I'm a fire dude because I want my boy in here.
Yeah. It happens all the time. I'm telling you, it happens all the time. It happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like if I was a head coach, yeah, of course, I'm like, man, I'm gonna holler and get my boy Jay, man. Who's the offensive coordinator now? Nah. But then they give you the like I say, it's so obvious. It's crazy because it's so obvious, but nobody says nothing at the same time. But that happen in real life too. It'd be so obvious, but no nobody say nothing at the same time. But and then like I say, now they start to take a lot of that stuff out of the workplace now, DEI. So it's only gonna get crazier, man. If you don't have the
Yeah.
skills, man, if you don't have the skills that stand out, like I said, if you don't got like Randy Moss type skills in the corporate place, you know what I'm saying? The chances of sometimes on these jobs giving you a chance probably not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it
Exactly.
is.
And we with the stuff the enemy has done in his league so far, the guy that you're bringing in hasn't done that. He can't even potentially do what this man has done already.
Yeah.
Um, so how does that make sense?
And you and I
Oh,
both know that.
but this who I want. This who I want, and I give what I want because I'm a millionaire or I'm a billionaire. I give what I want. Um,
So let me ask you
you
a
know,
bonus question, right? We talking about this job stuff, right? We're talking about Monique on the podcast. Yeah, make sure y'all go and check out the Thinking Game podcast. We had a good podcast last time. We got to have a good one coming up this week, but when Monique she had the recording of Tyler Perry, apologizing, saying he messed up her career. What if Tyler Perry or another director had a recording of her being difficult on the set, like just going crazy? You know what I'm saying? Would they be equally fair to release their videos or recording?
yeah. They would be, but then that would go back into well, why they got to do that? Why would they do that? Well, that's what they asked her. Well, why did she release that?
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it would be a tit for tat. It would be kind of childish. I want to I'm resolution oriented. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But
Yeah.
they could have got like they say. She says multiple times that her husband is a straightforward, stand up guy. You know what I mean? More of an enforcer. He doesn't tolerate foolishness or misdirection. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? If they would have said they ruled that rude or not easy to work with, and they got recordings of him and her being difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But what's difficult? Is standing your ground difficult? Not letting somebody get you with the banana in the tailpipe? Tailpipe, is
Okay.
that being difficult? Not
Yeah,
going
I
with the
understand.
flow?
Yeah, what you're saying, but see, some people like I think it was an alleged thing when she did the movie Precious. They want her to do the press run in Toronto or like in Canada or something like that. and she said she didn't want to do it. She had to do something with her family or something like that, but somehow she just didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes that could factor in. And I'm not talking about her specifically, but me and you both know it's people in the workplace. Sometimes you can sabotage yourself, but then tell everybody else that it's the company though, and not the stuff that you did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you
We all been
have
there.
every
I mean,
right
I've done. We
to
all been there.
request time off or do something like that, but it's
Yeah,
also how you do it.
yeah, for
I'm gonna
sure.
take off. I don't care what they say, blah blah blah. Like, well, you didn't have to add all that in there
Yeah,
when you took off. You know what I mean? You
yeah.
can just be like, hey, I'm just taking off. If I'm not here, I'm not here, and they can see for themselves. You don't even have to really say much.
But
But
see,
I can't live on your time. Like I can't. Like if you want me to do something and it conflicts with what I have going on with my family or personally, I'm just not gonna do it. And if you take if I'm on your bad list and you put me on a blacklist because or you start rumors about me because I did that, I mean you still wrong. Because I was in my rights to do what
so
I did.
okay, I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying from a business standpoint, if you sign a contract, if you take on that, do you have to understand that when you sign that contract, you have to understand that this is what it is contractually, or you saying that because you feel a certain way that supersedes the contract?
Well, you gotta honor your contract. But it's
But see, there go, there,
exceptions in the no, it's exceptions in there. I can't make all the dates. Um, I'm still contractually within my limits to miss one or two engagements. You know what I mean? Because
see what
ain't
P
nothing
said.
100%.
Shout out to Peel. He said it's like getting mad at the reaction instead of being mad at the action that made me react.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's like almost gaslight. You know what I mean? Well,
yeah.
I'm sorry you feel that way, but I did what I did. It's like, okay.
Because what I'm saying, because people, regular people, this happened too in regular people jobs. Like when you sign up for a job, let's say working at Amazon, and they want you to work 4 days out of 7 days, 12 hours. They expect you to work those 4 12s. You know what I'm saying? Whether you got a
And
family issue or not.
now, okay, let me say this. Okay, they want you to work those 412s,
Uh huh.
but you have something in place, and you said you was gonna work them, but you have something in place called sick time. And
Right.
then when you use that sick time
Yep.
that you have a right to use,
Right.
they start looking at you funny, like, oh well, I don't know if he's gonna come in
So
because he's
I'm
always
glad you
calling
said
out.
that.
I called out 2 times within my rights, and now you labeled me as a chronic user of a sick time or a sick time abuser, which I am not. I used it 2 times. I have the right to use it 12, but I only used it two. And you look at me a certain way from then on out because I called in. That's not right.
So what about this? We seen this before too. What about people who use up all their sick time and still do that though, right?
No, see, that's the difference.
Yes, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
chronic. That's chronic use. All right, she's did like she had that. What in this case, she had that one thing that she didn't want to do, and she said she didn't. She wasn't going to do it because she had a family engagement. She's within her rights, but you give her that reputation because you took it personally that she took her allotted sick time. You took that personally. Now you don't like her.
So now we talking about sport. This is how sports work. Just like what you just said, she got faced with a choice, and she looked at the play chart. You can either call this play, get the first down, which is probably going a promo run, or you could call this play and do the family engagement, and you got to take what come with it, like what comes with that, good or bad. You don't know. Sometimes you don't know till you pull the slot machine arm. As soon as you pull it, you know what I'm saying? Because when you sign that contract, man, sometimes, like I said, you and I both know that's the ugly side of business. They want you to put the business first before
Yeah,
your personal matters.
but you got a rights and leeway. This man, we're not robots.
You're not.
This is drawn up in the contract that I can do this 4 times. I did it once, and now you're tripping. And then
Man,
if I call the play that you is ill advised, this one play was best for my shoulder. Uh, I'm not gonna run a dive. I'm gonna run this little option, or I run a quick slant.
yeah,
We caught we threw a pick. That's that's the way the game works. It's
right.
football. My shoulder
That's what
wasn't
I'm saying. What I'm saying, she played the game. She made the decision that she wanted to make. But I guess for me, I had to learn this from myself. When you make those kind of decisions, I can't get mad. I can't say the outcome should have been like this. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody don't look at it from the same way. You see what I'm saying? I guess that's
okay.
my
Look,
thing.
look. Now, wins and losses, X's and O's is one thing, but you're making. I made a play that you didn't agree with. It cost us the win. Now you're acting emotionally. Every time my contract is kind of coming up now because you remember that play last season, you don't want to sign my extension. That's emotional.
Yeah, that happened to me before
You know what I mean? Of
when I worked at the
course,
ISP place, bro. I mean, that's like
they thought
they
you
wanted
should
me
take they
they
yeah
wanted me to
they
take
thought you
less
should take
money.
the.
They wanted me
Hmm.
to take less money, and then I had a situation that happened at the crib when my HVAC system went out, and they try to find that that's the only thing they really could like kind of ding me on. They didn't say nothing about the skill. They didn't say nothing about how my performance because it was all there. They said because I was wearing the NASCAR shirts that time when I had to take off, and it wasn't even a lot. I just had to get it fixed because I couldn't trust them to fix it without me being there, and they still end up messing up. And but I don't go around and hold on to that and just talk about that all the time. You know what I'm saying? But that's her thing. I understand that's how she get down. But I'm saying at some point, man, you have to let go and keep moving forward. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, but one on her thing, she can put a monetary amount on what she kind of lost. So those are damages.
And that's what
This
I'm
is
trying to
not.
say. Every decision and choice comes with wins and losses. High risk, high reward. You know what I'm
But you
saying?
can't take me. See, but what they did was illegal. Was
So what?
wrong. What they
This
did was illegal, and they paid for it.
how much stuff do we know that
Now,
people done something illegal, but they never get enforced though?
and guess what? Guess what? Those people didn't have the money. They gave up. She didn't. Netflix gave her her money.
Right.
You know
But
what I
what
mean?
I'm
They
saying
settled with
is,
her.
what I'm
Something
saying
that
is,
hey, look. What I'm saying is the opposite.
yeah.
Don't give up if you feel like you were done wrong. Make them folks pay you. They did wrong. Now sometimes now with your situation, you can think back. Well, I shouldn't have wore the NASCAR. I shouldn't have gone home to take care of my family business with my HVAC. Right? You
No,
can
what I'm
say
saying
that, but
is,
they would have no, no. But they would have
look,
found something else to get you with.
this is what I'm saying. Make them pay you, but every press run you go on where you're dogging them out is different than going to court and making them pay you. Right or wrong?
Yes, yes. Yeah, no, no, yeah, yeah. I mean, being petty and stuff like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
and doing stuff like that. That's not legal action. That's not what you need to do.
yeah.
Um,
That's all I'm saying.
so
Like,
I understand that.
how long do you now that she got paid? How long does she hold on to it? Does she still keep dogging out Netflix, or do she let it go?
Yeah, I think it's over with now. I think anything else. When you go, sometimes Club Shay Shay is the end all be all. You know what I mean? You got it off your chest.
Yeah,
But people want you to like when she did the donkey of the day show stuff when she was talking about how Charlemagne and the Breakfast Club named her donkey of the day.
yeah,
That hurt her feelings, and she spoke on that and being able had to apologize. Well, they didn't have to apologize. They apologized for
yeah,
the stuff that they said. You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's like, hey, we said this. We wasn't fully informed about the thing, but you just can't. She couldn't let that go. That didn't get her paid, but she was wrong, and she felt like she needed kind of
And
justice
like I
or
said, they on a
whatever. So
different level, like regular people levels. Like I know for men, black men, minority men working in the corporate world, man, if you don't have the money to go to court and get that stuff settled, man, you got to take that across the chin and keep moving, man. It ain't worth holding on to, man. You'll mess your health up, man. Like I still meet people that I work with sometimes at the ISP place, and they go back to that. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
if they, it's up to them. It's their choice. But I just don't. I tell them, man, look, man, I learned so much, man, when I left there, man. Like I learned how to recover from those kind of things, and man, you learn about yourself through adversity. You know what I'm saying? I say that you learn about yourself through adversity. So
Yeah, you use this learning experience and stuff like that.
yeah,
But like sometimes people feel like many celebrities, when you got social media, your
yeah,
baby mama, your baby daddy trashing you, and everybody damage your reputation. It's defamation, and people don't want to let this stuff go. Their pride, their reputation or whatever. But you can end up getting canceled, especially with people with small business. You gotta watch what you say and what you do
yeah,
to people,
yeah,
on
for
guys'
real.
internet.
Yeah, and see that's the thing with these kids. It's like the kids. That's kind of what I'm doing with the podcast too. I need to find some information, but understanding what regular people's success look like. Not they're looking like you said. They're looking at Beyonce, thinking they could get to there, but they don't understand. You got 6 to 8 different levels before you even get to that. You know what I'm saying?
But if you tell them that,
You
Beyonce's
offend you
success
offend
looks
them.
different from yours, no, you're a dream killer.
Yeah,
I am
exactly. You
Beyonce,
offend them.
like I'm the next coming of Beyonce. Who are you to tell me that that's not my version of success? You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Yeah. They didn't see. A lot of these kids didn't even see Destiny's Child. They didn't see none of that. They didn't see them.
who's Destiny's Child?
They didn't even see them in the
Is,
Silk the Shocker video. You know what I'm saying? Singing the Silk the
is
Shocker
that
video.
Destiny Child? Is that Blue Ivy's nickname? Like,
Boy, for real. For real. But yeah, guys, we just come by, man, talk some sports, man, and let us know who y'all think gonna win the Super Bowl. The Bills. Good night. Oh, he said what's the name? What's the name? It's Destiny Child, Bills, Bills, Bills. That's funny.
yeah, they don't even remember that. Like them kids like now, they like, well, who? Beyonce pay her own bills. Well, what she need a man for? Well, back Destiny Child.
Boy, go watch the Silk the Shocker video. Just be good to me. But I see y'all like, wait a minute, this is actually Destiny Child in the
You
Silk the
know,
Shocker video, man.
hey, you know what? She gonna have all that erased from the internet pretty soon.
Man, who you like better, Silk the Shocker? I'm trying to think who's kind of like Silk the Shocker. Uh,
Silk the Shocker was unique. I don't think
yeah,
nobody's like
with the
Silk the
production. Was
Shocker.
it more him or the production though? He had some cold beats though. He had some cold beats, bro. Like
Man, he
that
got a
song,
platinum.
Destiny Child had a cold beat. I was watching Ain't My Fault. That song had a cold beat. Dude had some cold beats, man. Yeah, he was definitely
Beats by
unique
the
with his
pound.
lifestyle. Yeah. Hated for Mystical, man. I'm praying for that brother, man. Hope he get it together, man. Dude was
Yeah.
cold for his time, though. Man, what you think? I think too, man. I think people don't. Who was the best bootlegger in Little Rock? Oh, he out. So, guys, we're finna get ready to sign out this thing. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Thank you. Let us know in the comments who you think gonna win the Super Bowl. Oh, you back?
Now, yeah,
Man,
he said the
when you talk
best
about sports
bootlegger.
and like competition, who you think was the best bootlegger, man? Who was in high school, like in Little Rock, man, like Southwest, like with music?
I had
Cause I know
I had a
Maxwell
personal
Smart.
hookup.
Yeah, Maxwell Smart, man, dude. I remember when he first started, they had the vans, right? The Chevy vans, man. The big old Chevy vans. Then they had the store. He still got that store too, that storefront.
Yep.
Man, dude made so much money, man. It's crazy, man. I'm about to see if I can actually get dude to come on the podcast, man. Chop it up with him. I go out there and
For
talk to
sure,
him.
for sure. I mean, I
Man,
mean, because
dude was getting it. I
he's
tell
still
you
in
what.
business. You know what I mean? You got to realize
Yeah,
when he started. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
it'll be definitely interesting to hear his
Cause who had
his
the bigger
thoughts and
impact,
his frame
No
of
Limit,
mind.
No Limit or Cash Money? Who had the bigger impact?
Well, Lehman kind of started first, and they kind of still here.
Nah, it ain't the
But
same. It
the
ain't like it used to be. It ain't the same though.
of course,
Yeah.
but P still got his money,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and you don't really get that from a lot of people
Yeah,
or record labels,
they both had the
especially
same.
black owned.
Yeah,
Music wise, I'm really, I don't know. I want to kind of give it to Cash Money, but I don't know.
yeah. Timothy said No Limit started the wave. It seems like. 'Cause here's the thing, right?
Hmm.
They both had
I agree.
a good drop. They both had a good start. No Limit had probably had the longest like production, like as far as the production in his like P was putting out an album every week. Like as far as the art, I mean, people used to look at this album just see what was coming out. Who else? You know what I'm saying? It was half of them didn't even drop. You know what I'm saying? Probably. You know what I'm
What?
saying?
But he had him on deck. That was on the
They had
roster.
R&B. They had everything. They had Moby Dick. They had what the Sons of Funk. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Then the rap, and then you think about Family Business. Um, Man, you talk about Lil Wayne. I'm telling you, man.
Exactly.
Timothy
I mean,
Shook the
the
Shocker,
Wayne
man, had a good run,
still the
man.
MVP.
Shook the Shocker had a good run though, bro. I think all his albums hit though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying Lil Wayne better than him lyrically. I'm just saying,
No,
like, as far as like,
I
huh? No, I'm not saying that at
I
all.
am.
But I'm talking about hit wise and dropping straight. I mean, just making like as far as business wise, Shook the Shocker was getting it, bro. I mean,
I mean, for his talent level, I definitely think he was getting
yeah.
it. But Lil Wayne ain't dropped a bad project probably since ever.
No, but I'm
Um,
saying, yeah, he haven't, but I'm thinking, because it was a different time when they kind of came out too, so it was a little with mixtapes and everything. They really wasn't a thing back then. It was all albums back then. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But man, KLC though, when he had KLC and Moby Dick and them making the beats and stuff, man, they had some of the best production though, man. I mean, Manny Fresh was good, but man, P was putting out them hits, man. I mean, I don't think people realize how much he was putting out, man. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
mean, it was one point he had like it seemed like he had like 30 albums come out of it. It probably wasn't even 30 albums, but it seemed like it was like that though. You know, even the
Hmm.
bootleggers made money off P, man. He had that many songs out there that we didn't even know about. I mean, I remember Maxwell had Snoop Dogg before he even came out. That Snoop Dogg and No Limit, he had that before it even came out on the CD. He had it bumping already, man. You know what I'm saying? We was buying that from him. You know what I'm saying? He was a Southern album that became mainstream. Man, I'm trying to tell you,
And
man.
he's still here.
P was mainstream, bro. I mean, man, P changed the game, man. P had the slogan. Oh, he had everybody
But
doing that, man. Man, P was so big, he had the Chinese people selling No Limit stuff and making millions off that. They had the fake
but you
Chinese
got
shirts.
like but you think Master P was like doing concerts and touring like up north and they was
Yes,
turning out like that?
yes, they was. They was. People talk about it all the time. I think 50 Cent said he used to tour with Master P.
Yeah.
Yeah. With No Limit, though, say they had a
But
good
I
run
mean, but
too.
that was later. We're talking about way before 50 kind of came
Yeah,
out.
because like I say, Master P
Uh,
came out, we was in junior high, and he was, I mean,
exactly.
he had a run. It wasn't nobody competing with him, man. I mean, in the South anyway, you know what I'm saying? He always had the features. He messed with everybody in the South. You know what I'm saying? Boy, yeah, if he'd had the internet back,
Yeah,
boy, if he'd had
that
the
would have
internet
been
back then,
nasty.
boy, if Master P would have had the internet back then, man, he would have blew that thing up, man. God. I
I mean,
mean,
and then like with his business savvy, he would have owned all his music, all his streaming rights, because
yeah.
man, he would have
And I
been
want
getting
people to
paid.
realize this. You know how hard it is to run a family business and everybody works just as hard as you? That is not easy to do. You know what I'm saying? Like his C Murder and Silk the Shocker was going just as hard making music as Master P was, you know what I'm saying, in the studio. You hear other people saying they had to force people, make them make verses and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I don't think people realize how hard it is to have a family business or do business with your boys and everybody works just as hard. as you. You know what I'm saying? That ain't easy to do. You know what I'm saying? But they want their money though. But like, where the album at?
Yeah,
No, I didn't do the album yet, man. But I still want the advance though. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But
that's real rough. I mean, everybody knows their roles and not disrespected. You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
I want total control too. Like, how two people gonna have total control?
yeah. But yeah, guys, we finna get ready to sign out this thing, man. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit the follow button. Make sure you subscribe. And let us know who you think will win the Super Bowl. And if I can get my homework done, I might come back on tomorrow night after the Super Bowl. We'll see. Got to get this homework done, man. Man, these classes I'm taking, bro, they got you reading so much, man. I don't think I read this much like in a while. It's been a long time, man. But I got to sit here and read articles and for this usability study stuff. It's pretty crazy, man. Stuff that you do every day, you don't realize how much people put into it, man, until you actually read about it. You be like, dang, we do this stuff all the time in the hood. We didn't even know what it was. You know what I'm saying? So,
Boy,
but yeah, guys, we finna get ready and sign out this thing, man. Got anything else you want to say before we get out this thing, bro?
nah. Enjoy the game, y'all.
Enjoy the game, man. We catch y'all later.